Hi, my name is Acacia, and I'm here in Albania, where I've been serving with an organization called Torchbearers for the last 2 years.
Hello, my name is Kevin Britton. I graduated from Range in 2021.
Hi, my name is Toby Britton. I graduated from Front Range in 2020. I'm currently a senior at John Brown University. It's my last semester.
I graduated from Front Range in 2021, and it was a huge blessing for me. I'm so thankful.
I'm currently in Spokane, Washington, studying to be a missionary pilot mechanic. While I was only at Front Range for 2 years, my time there was incredibly impactful and beneficial.
I'm out here studying outdoor leadership ministries, which is going to put me into the camp world of some kind. We're going to figure that out in a few months when I graduate.
We moved back from the mission field in Uganda, East Africa, in 2019, and we began attending Front Range. And the community of Front Range was a huge blessing in that transition time.
The combination of good classes, caring and invested teachers, and edifying community grew not only my knowledge of my academic knowledge, but also my knowledge of God and the Bible, and drew me closer to Christ.
Being able to go to, an American school and experience that in a setting that was a healthy setting in a sense, where I wasn't thrown into a public school where there was a lot more issues prevalent. But Front Range was huge for me in the ability to experience the American school system, but do it well with great faculty, great people around me. And it was an experience I'll never forget, and it was phenomenal.
Hi, I'm Jeff Britton, and I'm married to this wonderful lady, Mary Britton. And we've been married for almost 27 years now. Mm-hmm. Our journey to Front Range began back really probably around 2018. I think we first started talking to Front Range or looking at Front Range as we planned for the future. We did that looking from Uganda. So about half of our married life was spent in the East African country of Uganda, and where we worked for an organization caring for children.
Our kids literally grew up there. When we went, they were 4, 3, and 2. The youngest had just turned 2, and we were there for 13 years. So when looking to come back, it was very important to us to find a place that would foster the kind of community that we were used to.
So they had never gone to formal school. They were homeschooled their entire education with Mary as their teacher. And so they spent most of their time, the 3 of them, in a classroom. Once in a while we had some cooperative work that we would do, and we'd have other missionaries that would come in and we'd teach together to give them some interaction, but basically they had not had a formal classroom experience that entire time.
And I wanted to make sure that where we placed our children, they would be leaving me every day, and that was something new, that the people would care about discipleship, teaching God's truth, walking alongside our children, if they noticed something that wasn't quite right, picking up on that. I was very interested in finding a place that wasn't all just academics or just sports or just Bible school. I wanted all of those things.
We didn't just want academics. We wanted them to be discipled. We wanted them to be loved and cared for. And we found that because we lived in a very tight-knit community. All the years in Uganda, the kids saw their friends every single day. They saw their friends coming out of their hut untoothbrushed, right? All those things, the good times, the bad times, the loss of relatives. We lived in a very tight-knit community. And so coming to what can be a very disconnected culture here in the U.S., they were brought into community, and they still talk about that and how they found community at Front Range. And again, that wasn't just valuable for us, but that was valuable for them. So one of the questions I had when we were talking about coming back to the U.S. and putting our kids in a private school was, Lord, how am I going to do this? Because living on the field for all those years, making enough money to live in East Africa in the village, it didn't supply enough opportunity to save money to pay for private tuition. I was very blessed to find out that Front Range has a program that could help people like us, that could help people that weren't able to meet every part of the tuition. And it just took me right back into the reality of the body of Christ and how God calls us to bear one another's burdens. And He calls us to give sacrificially. And the beauty of when I was confronted with that when I had all these doubts and fears about how this is going to happen, to hear that there was a great possibility and hear that there was a fund that had been organized to help support the tuition needs of the students. It overwhelmed me. It gave me again a picture of God's kingdom, of what how things are supposed to operate, where I bear your burdens with my excess and you bear my burdens with your excess, and together we share, and how important you are to my walk, and how even my part in your walk is crucial.
Hearing about the Timothy Fund helped us to feel this was doable. That we had seen this place, we wanted to be at this place. We didn't know how it was going to happen. But when the Timothy Fund was offered to us, I could see God's hand.
It brought hope
Yes,
into
it
our
brought
walk, where we were a little bit concerned, how can we make this happen? Really, the thought of other young people having access to what our children experience, it overwhelms me. At times it takes my breath away. I'm at a loss for words thinking about the kids that need access to what our kids experienced. And so without the Timothy Fund, without this fund continuing to increase and go forward, so many children won't have the opportunity that they've had.
I also want to say that I'm so thankful for the Timothy Fund, not just for my kids, but because it allowed me to be a part of a community of people who really care. And some of my closest friends are people that I met as we sat next to each other on the bleachers, as we sat through performances in the Fine Arts Center. Just keeping in touch with those people and having real friendships with those people had benefited us. Not just to see our kids flourish, but it benefited us. And I really want that for other families. And I know the Timothy Fund is in place to help people who want to be a part of that kind of a community, who know their children need that kind of a community, but might not think that they can make it happen. The Timothy Fund comes alongside them, and we are so thankful that the Timothy Fund came alongside us.